I actually have like one question that is for both of you, because I believe it impacted both of you, and Silab talked about it a lot right now. Like I couldn't really focus like in online classes. Online is more difficult. I liked offline more. I barely noticed, by the way. but the question for you too is like at university, but also at work, because you all obviously have like or had online meetings all the time, I assume. So what's the big issue with like studying and work? In theory, it's like, hey, just stay home, chill, you're in your pajamas. Archana and I talked about it earlier, right? So you're in your pajamas, just chill, drink, eat whatever you want. It's more relaxed. So what's the problem?
You want to go first?
Your connection was lost a little bit. Can you please repeat it again?
Okay, sure. So the question is, in theory, being online sounds like a good thing. Like you can stay at home, you can chill, you can eat, you can drink. So what's the problem with studying and working online?
I think the problem is that you got a lot of distraction more than when you're actually in the class, because when you're in the class, then you have distraction from your friend next to you, or like other people talk to you, or your phone or your iPad. But here, when you're home, you just got out of bed and then just come straight, sit in the chair, and then it's still in your pajama. I have my two cats; they're like running around everywhere, and like, on my laptop here and there, and sometimes they make weird noises at the back, and then have to turn around and look at them. They're too cute, I cannot resist to like pet them. So yeah, that's a very big distraction for me.
Key question related to our topic: would wearing your uniform on camera help, do you think, or not?
Well, not uniform, but just dress up properly, not in your pajama would help, definitely help.
So then should we turn on the cameras?
Then you felt like you're actually ready to study, to do something,
Yes, I agree. When I was a second semester of fourth year, I was also studying online, and I remember during that time I got very easily distracted as well, and so I found it a lot harder to study online than to study in the class. But when it comes to work, I believe that there's two issues. Like, first of all, communication. When you work, you have to constantly work with other people and other departments. So communicating with them is very important, and clear communication is very important to avoid issues in the future. So like, because everybody's at home and it's harder to communicate with each other, issues arise, and conflict also arise, I believe, like with work and with projects. And the second thing is the work-life balance, is the fact that once you're at home and you wake up, you're at home, you go to work, and once you finish work, you're still at home, you're still in the same place, and everybody's still contacting you. There's like no border. Like there's no border between like, okay, now this is my time and now this is working time. It's all the same time. And that's also, in some cases, how some coworkers would treat you.
Yeah.
Like with no border.
I do agree with you as well, because I was today is my first day of no class, so I got to go outside in the morning to do some gardening outside, and my mom was like, yeah, I haven't seen you outside, like actual outside doing housework, or like just planting flowers and stuff for 2 weeks, because I've been like just finishing the last project and trying to study for my final. So I just like stay in my room pretty much all day, and that's yeah, like you said, there's no border between like balancing in life.
Yeah,
that's a very good point. And by the way, just as an FYI, students also don't know borders. Just saying. But I read something today. I would like to ask a question to the both of you then in this regard. I read an article today on The Guardian, I believe. They're discussing to have a law in the UK that prohibits the bosses to send emails after working hours, because like you said, they just send emails, or the professors send emails all the time, messages on MS Teams, co-workers, your managers, they send this all the time. Do you think that's necessary, or should it be like just like common sense actually?
I believe that it should be common sense, and that, well, it should be free enough to be, like if there's emergencies, you should be able to contact somebody after working time. But if it's like not necessary or not a big thing or urgent, then yeah, they shouldn't be contacting you after working hours. Especially not like expecting you to create work during that time.
Yeah, that's true for me as well, because I have some group projects with a few friends, and there was some new people that I have to work with as well, but they don't really know like the boundaries of like when should you when they should contact other people. Like some send me messages at like 3 a.m. in the morning asking me when to deadline, which you can like look at it by yourself on MS Team on the syllabus, just like those little things that just
But
Thing,
just to add,
Sasha,
yeah,
would that also apply to students texting us on Microsoft Teams at all hours?
that's what I meant earlier. Yeah, I mean, that's why I deleted the MS Teams app from my phone, by the way, so that I don't get any notifications. So
That's why I put my phone on silent all the time,
yeah,
so I
me
don't
too.
hear
It's on
anything.
mute. Yeah,
But then
same.
when someone calls me, the rare time someone calls me, they usually get mad because I don't hear that either. But I'd rather keep it all silent.
I have that Teams times now. I don't open it like at night, for example. Even if I'm on my laptop right now, MS Teams is closed just because, no borders. But to Mina's point, when you work in an agency, unfortunately, everything is urgent, right? So that's why you get messages all the time. Because from experience in an agency, like, hey, can this not wait until tomorrow? No, the client needs it right now. So
True.
I sympathize with this. Like, you don't have no work-life balance, basically. So I understand also, even though it's a great company, I also understand why people have to move on at times.
Yes.
That does lead to the next question I have for Silub. So, Silub, I remember I read your nice profile on the BJAM website. You said at that time you wanted to become sports journalist. So, is that still the big dream, or are you starting to expand go beyond your boundaries? And are starting to think of more things. So what is the dream right now? Same as when you did that nice feature article for us that we posted all over? Or are you thinking of some other things? And then Mina can chime in about her experience with her big dreams and how they change. So, what's the dream right now?
No, I still wanted to do something with to be able to develop my sport, because I'm a equestrian horse rider, and the sports here in Thailand is still quite small. I would like to still want to be like the voice for my sports, to be able to develop it in order for it to be bigger in the future, and for the next generation of riders to be like have some more dreams, and the sports will be more competitive in Thailand. So yeah, I would still want to be the voice for them.
Great. Hope you keep on to that dream. It's a good one. So, Mina, I want to go to you. Did you notice that your dream started to shift a bit? So I'm not just talking about second to third year. You can even go to first year. So how did your kind of aspirations develop? Because right now we have a lot of students who are starting to figure themselves out. They're asking us the same questions that actually all of you did, I think, just last year, Tad. So how is that kind of dream transition? Because there are some who have that big dream. It doesn't change much. That's totally fine. But there are others who they don't know, and they have to kind of shift as they start to get more work experience. So looking back from your first year at BGM to now, have there been a lot of shifts, or have you kind of been consistent in where you are?
God. There have been so many shifts. When you're in year one, you're still quite naive. You don't really think about it as realistically as you think about it when you're in fourth year, when like it's already about to happen, and you start looking at things differently. Like in first year, my goal actually was to become an air hostess or an air hostess. I like traveling, and I thought that's what I want to be. Yeah, that's what I want to do. But then once you start learning more and you also gain new interests as well, you grow as well. And so from first year being an air hostess going to second year, I started looking more into agency work, but I was at the time I was also modeling, so I wanted to find something to balance them both. And once I started focusing on that, basically I came to this point where right now I'm trying to balance freelancing work and modeling as well. So from second year to now, I've been quite consistent. But going to account executive, that was where I kind of was experimenting with my career path as well. So that was it.
All right. Thanks.
So yeah,
John,
if you don't know what you want, it's okay.
John Sasha has something to say.
Fingers in the air. First, I remember you from in the first year when we had class. I think JAM 200 was the class Introduction to Communication, and I asked him like, "Hey, who are you? Who are you? What's your dreams? Why do you study this?" And then like, "I'm here and I want to be an air hostess." And I hear this. We still hear this to this day from students. But how do I say this politely? Why? Like why? Like why would you like study media studies to become an air hostess? I don't get it.
That is true. That is true.
Okay.
Well, no, it was more of like spontaneous thing, you know, when you're young and you can't really think of what you want to do, and you don't know what you're studying, how it's gonna help you in the future. But once you start studying, like second year, third year, you start seeing that, oh, all of this knowledge that I have, this is a path that I want to go to. This is how it's gonna help me. So yeah.
Fair point. You got wiser and so, nice. Okay, makes sense.
You grow.
All right. Go, John Sasha.